officials milking some footage of phone. Somebody kicking and tripping in slow motion with a replay. It's worth showing and showing. Yeah. Not exactly sure whether that's the bit of vision I would have used for the play on, given our next guest hosted this show for the first 13 or 14 years. No stranger, of course, to this studio. We've seen him sit through games of footy. We watch him on the screen and he'd be feeling in plenty of pain. Please welcome the president of the Collingwood Footy Club, Eddie McGuire. Yeah.
Sit.
Oh, sit on over here. Go where?
Put up to it.
Where is it?
Sit where he wants to.
That's right. Good on you, mate.
Well done.
Hello, buddy. How are you?
Now, Ed, have you got a physician on standby? I've personally got a micro ambulance on standby on Saturday.
It was exciting, wasn't it? There was no doubt about it. It's exciting to be back here for the last show at Studio 9.
Yeah, absolutely.
Symmetry there, but no, look, it was an amazing game of football. At half-time, I must admit, I thought we needed to kick the next 2 goals to really get into a good position, and the Saints came out and kicked those next 2 goals, and it was back on for young and old. So we reload and go again. It's going to be so exciting, and what a week it's been.
It has been a big week in footy, as former great host used to say. Well, we want to ask you about your time throughout the game, because the cameras never miss you, and they shoot you as often as they do the coaches. And you're sitting there in the stand. I think that was when Leon was denied a free kick for in the back.
Yeah.
And you just quietly and calmly just asked the question. There's your son sitting next to you and Purdy in front. I mean, you just, like us, lose yourself in the contest?
Oh, well, look, you do. And, being a former caller and all the rest of it, you read the play, you're watching it, you're trying to analyse it as it goes. In that situation, obviously, Leon was... it was a big moment for him to try and get into the game and to give us that little bit of a spark that was required at that stage. He kicks the goal from 40, 45 metres out. It really puts us on our way. And, the umpiring was fantastic on the weekend. So, there was the one shot that me probably going off my head in that situation. But, yeah, you're right. You know what? It's a grand final. It's Sheep Stations. I mean, it's worth millions of dollars. It's a lifetime of ambition for the players. It's 12 years, in my case, of dedication to the Collingwood Football Club for Mick Malthouse, who's got, this game and 1 season to go to finish off one of the greatest coaching careers in the history of the game. The plans we have at Collingwood to do with things, if we win this game, what it means as far as Victoria Park, the Westpac Centre, all these other things. You're sitting there as the president with all this going through your head, and you look up and you see there's 7 seconds to go and the ball goes over the line out of bounds for a throw-in, and you think, well, we're going to be back next week. So all that comes together, and you can imagine why the emotions are boiling up inside you.
Well, Ed, I was going to ask you about that, because all fans at the footy don't have any idea how long there is to go. In a sanctum, people know, obviously, the coaching boxes, and you've been around long enough, as everyone has here. As soon as you see the runners go out, you know the end isn't far away. But are you privy to exactly how long?
Yeah, well, where I sit, I can look up and see inside the St Kilda coaches box. I can see the time clock. And some people might remember last year when we beat Adelaide, when Jack Anthony kicked that goal after the siren. I could see how long there was to go. I was counting it backwards in my mind. I think I counted a little bit too quickly because I thought the siren was going to go about 4 seconds earlier. And the head nearly did explode on that occasion, Sam. But, yes, I could see it was 7 seconds. Knew there's 2 seconds from a throw-in. Unless it was a 50-metre penalty, we're coming back next week.
Now Ed, we just asked Ross Lyon this. You're probably glad it didn't go to extra time because they had the momentum, the Saints. You're probably glad that the rules are that we come back this week.
Well, as Ross said, having said that, we nearly got the ball out and had one on the rebound. It just waxed and waned so much during the course of the game that I think we obviously had the Saints on the rack at one stage, and then they had a shot with a couple of minutes to go, and both sides fought back from those predicaments. You know, to see the guys lying there like that, it was so reminiscent of 1977. And in fact, the first thing I thought of when there was 7 seconds to go in the game was John Power's book, The Coach, which was written about Ron Barassi in 1977. And as a result of that, you know, we went down on the ground. They were the things that I was thinking of OK, what are the lessons from 77? And I thought, I looked across the other side where I stood as a 12-year-old in that grand final, watching as a kid in Form 1 or Year 7, as they say these days, Sam, and trying to remember what we could actually add to it. But the boys had it pretty much under control.
Now, the only disappointing thing about the whole day was that you were attributed to some statements which, of course, you've denied. And
yeah, look, but that's... Look, don't worry about that. I'm not even going to go on with that.
No.
Yeah, speaking of 77, 19 goals kicked.
Come on, Sammy, have a crack. Come on, fire up.
No. It would annoy him more than you could. It would annoy him more than you could tell.
It did annoy me greatly.
Yep.
It cut me to the core, to be perfectly honest. And look, maybe somebody thought they heard me mumbling under my breath or something like that and reported it to Darren, and Darren reported it, and he probably thought he was reporting it accurately, but it wasn't the case, and it's not something I want to go on about. This is the most exciting week of my life. I'm not going to get dragged down into those sorts of discussions.
Exactly right, and the 22 players are going to try and deliver the dream. Billy, who are they?
Well, here they are right here now. Bang! There they go. The Collingwood side. One change only. In comes Tyson Goldsack. Out goes Leon Davis. 3 strikes and you're out there for Leon. Not named as emergency either, so he doesn't get a go. McCarthy, Lockyer and Preston Giacomo are the emergencies. They still come. I tell you what you do need improvement from is the midfielders, Ed. We'll ask you about this Swan, Ball, Penderbury, Didak. Certainly need a bit more improvement there. And I like Goldsack because he can run with a Goddard or something like that. He can play as a defensive half-forward, forward-type player, and also he can play down back. So he's got 3 strings to the bow there, Edward.
Yeah, they're all good players out there, Billy, and the boys will train tomorrow. They have their last training session, and we'll get stuck into it.
The midfielders?
Oh, well, look, they did pretty well. We led for 115 minutes of 120 games, so we weren't too far off. But, yeah, there's improvement everywhere. I mean, the Saints will look at their team and see that they've got improvement. That's the great thing about this particular game is that it's not as if anybody flogged anybody along the way. We got off to a good start. They fought back. Their stars really fired. Hayes, Goddard, Rewalt looked dangerous, but at various times our guys look good. Swanee has taken a bit of a hit this week at times, but, gee, I thought he was fantastic early on. Got the first centre break, and, you know, Pendlebury will get more of the ball, you'd like to think, this week. And, you know, again, away we go. It's 1-1 and a draw in season 2010.
Most people think you coughed the game up, Eddie, but... How's the feeling been this week? Has it, I suppose, the collywobble stuff come in, or are the players a bit more relaxed? They think they've dodged the bullet and they can go back and play the footy that we're accustomed to seeing Collingwood play.
Jonathan, I think that's absolute nonsense what you've just said there. I thought I do. I just think that's media beat-up stuff, and you know, Caroline Wilson was trying to write that up first thing Sunday. I thought it was a brave display for our boys to be able to come back from being dead when Goddard took the Gizelenko mark. As you know better than anyone, there's always a particular moment in a grand final that you hang your hat on, and that's the winning mark or the winning play, whether it was Dacos's goal in 1990, Jess's mark in 1970. This particular mark to put them in front with 6 minutes and 54 on the clock and all the momentum, you would have thought Collingwood was gone, and you might have been able to say that maybe the young side out there wasn't able to stand up on the day. But to fight back from there, to get it back inside 50, for Cloak to kick the goal, and then to hold the composure in the last, 20 seconds, I thought Ben Johnson's display and the kick out from Heath Shaw to hoik it out of the defensive 50 was nothing short of magnificent.
Ed, they're saying that you're a very passionate man, but they're saying the only way Collingwood can lose is their kicking woes, and we know where it's all started. Have a look at this.
Shane. Come on,
Ed, you've got to talk us through what happened.
I was actually... We're announcing taking back over Victoria Park that day. Lindsay Tanner, the minister, kicked it. He just stubbed his toe kicking it to me, and I was laughing at him. And I picked the ball up, and as I went to kick it back to him, I've stubbed my toe, and the phone's come out of my pocket, and the glasses have exploded.
That thick, the bloody wallet.